Thank you, Presiding Officer. I do congratulate my colleague Siobhan Brown on securing this debate, and I know the member is doing much work on youth vaping, and Siobhan Brown has laid out perfectly, as Pauline McNeill has described, the issues around youth vaping. I also want to thank Asthma and Lung UK in Scotland and ASH Scotland for their briefings ahead of this debate, and I also thank them for their work to improve lung health or respiratory health in Scotland. This debate is about youth vaping, and I am the co-convener of the Lung Health Cross-Party Group and a registered nurse, so I am interested in the impact of vaping on lung health, especially with the very serious health concerns which have been expressed by medical experts and actually have been echoed around Chamber this evening. I've made loads of amendments and scribbles out of some of my contribution because colleagues have covered info already. But it is worth repeating that nicotine is the primary addictive component of tobacco cigarettes, and that vapes don't burn tobacco and do not produce tar or carbon monoxide, which are two of the most damaging elements to health in tobacco smoke. But we do know that e-cigarette use can have negative effects on respiratory health, and the nicotine in the e-cigarettes and the vapes, that is one of my main concerns. Research has shown that young people using e-cigarettes are twice as likely to suffer from a chronic cough than non-users. Of course I will.
Brian Housel.
Very grateful for Emma Harper for taking an intervention. I know there's not been enough research done into it, but isn't it just logic that inhaling foreign bodies into your lungs has to be harmful?
Emma Harper.
There's one word answer to that, and that is yes. I think that any substance that you take into your lungs that's maybe it's meant for food colouring, as it came up earlier, is something that we absolutely should be doing research about and we should be paying attention to. Kenneth Gibson spoke about the disturbance of gas exchange in the lungs and lung inflammation, but it is worth repeating that. And lung damage due to vaping, it's referred as e-cigarette or vaping-associated lung injury, so EVALI. And a public health investigation in Illinois and Wisconsin in the US found the median age of the patients that were suffering from this EVALI was 21 years old. But we've heard from colleagues across Chamber that younger people are even vaping now. And despite what the industry may say, nicotine can have detrimental health effects. So we know that adolescents are more vulnerable to nicotine dependency than adults. And chronic nicotine exposure can impact brain development, and that it has been mentioned already, but is worth repeating. Our Lung Health Cross-Party Group that Alexander Stewart and I co-convened together, we had a respiratory physician called Dr. Jonathan Coates, who's a paediatric respiratory physician, present us evidence of his research about nicotine on child brain development. And I would refer members to the recording of the meeting. It's in the Lung Health CPG September minutes on the Parley website. And the impact on brain development that was presented, it can contribute to cognitive and attention deficit conditions and worsen mood disorders. And that is pretty shocking. We also heard about the effects on mental health as well. So, Presiding Officer, in addition to the health impact of vaping, particularly on young people, I am concerned about the way in which vaping and the tobacco industry is targeting young people, as others have described. I will skip to pretty much the end and basically ask the government what we can do to look at tightening rules on advertising and promoting the vaping products. It really is a concern that these big, bright colours are front and centre in our retail outlets and our supermarkets. So I would again thank Siobhan Brown for bringing this debate to Chamber and share the concerns that have been raised by everybody across Chamber about the health impacts of vaping for our young people in Scotland. Thank you.